innovations on AI in healthcare is again a generic one. If you are a master of prompts to do your work, and that's what AI is about.
Welcoming all of you. Good afternoon and good morning if any one of you are joining outside of India. To introduce myself, Sarita here, your moderator for the day. Very glad to start with these AI sessions and able to give a glimpse of what is actually happening in the industry and how AI is evolving and changing our regular day-to-day activities and assignments, what we do. So very happy to be coordinating and facilitating this for all of you, for the industry and also for the academia. Let me take a moment to introduce our speaker for today, Mr. Vikram Kumar, who is the mastermind behind Asia's first AI Pharma IPO. Congratulations, first of all, Vikram, for being the Asia's first AI Pharma IPO. And then think of a world, because I'm sure all of you would be hearing about AI, ML everywhere, every conference. These are the very buzzwords nowadays. And imagine a world which has AI that is not only analyzing the data, but also accelerating the overall drug discovery and redefining the patient journeys and uncovering the dollar value from the healthcare data. While we see that evolution on AI, and then someone who is leading it with the revolution, and that is what Vikram Kumar is, and he's one of the leaders on this AI evolution. Very happy welcoming Vikram Kumar here. Thank you so much, Vikram, for joining us. To give a little more glimpse about his accomplishments and his education background, he's a data virtuoso turned visionary CEO. He's the founder and driving force behind Multiplier AI, a company on track to become Asia's first listed AI firm focused entirely on pharmaceuticals, with a bold mission to bring agentic AI into the heart of life sciences. Vikram and his team have transformed how top pharma giants like Pfizer, GSK, and Abbott use AI not just for analytics but also for strategic advantage. Before launching Multiplier AI, Vikram delivered over 100 large-scale data projects at Microsoft, where he mastered the art of turning complex datasets into actionable intelligence. He holds an engineering degree from IIT and an MBA from IIM Kolkata, fusing the technical brilliance with sharp business acumen. That's very impressive background, Vikram. And what truly sets him apart is his relentless focus on outcome-driven AI. So Vikram is not just building products, he is engineering a true future where AI becomes the silent co-pilot behind every life-saving treatment. And with backing from Norwest venture partners, the vision is no longer in beta. So if you are ready to learn from someone who's just not talking about AI but deploying it at scale, this is the right session where you are in, and get ready to be inspired. So once again, thank you so much, Vikram, for accepting our request and joining this session, and welcoming you into today's session, where we will be talking about the top 5 AI certifications, especially for the life sciences. The stage is all over to you, Vikram.
Thanks, Sarita, and the CAiRL team, and all the people who are there. I think the missing challenge in AI is about people showing up and actually learning it. That's what I think our learning is. Medicine and both pharma and healthcare end up being careers where you have to have a lifetime learning. So I'll share screen. The objective is that within the 1 hour, you go back with clarity, and hopefully today, or at least in the coming week, you pick one of the certifications. I'm sharing screen. Why learn AI? And I'm giving this as more CEO, CFO perspective of somebody from US part of it. And these are just indicative numbers, and there's a whole set of overhead. But largely what happens is, if you're running a pharma company within the US, the total cost of a resource could be anywhere between 200 to 250K, and that could include within the European Union some of the more developed countries. Within India and other companies that become as the option for outsourcing, that shifts radically to a 50K USD to 60K USD kind of thing. And with AI, a lot of that opportunity is to get that work done, or at least part of that work done in 1K USD per month. So think like what a CFO would have who's employing 100,000 people. It's $1 million to knock 4 people off and put them to AI. In India, that's a larger 15 to 20 people gives you $1 million. So there's a very, very strong reason to move to AI. Last year, I think within the US market, within healthcare and pharma, and a lot of markets across the world, there was optimizations in the region of 10%. And what we feel is that potentially the best thing for somebody in any market, it can be in US, it can be in Switzerland, it can be in UK, is to empower themselves with AI. So the economic twist to that somebody with AI is probably going to be outcome based, higher quality, and more value. So that's the brief about us, I think, already been told. So normally when you are looking at getting certified, you have a program type, which is a hybrid online, offline, remote, recorded, which overlaps with a certification format. There's a participation type when you can look at, are you somebody working on the commercial side? Are you somebody working in regulatory? Are you somebody working on maybe clinical trials or others? And what is the topic of interest? What the specialty? What's the application type? In this, I have kept the foundational ones irrespective of your role. And I have picked certifications which are very strong on AI because there are very, very few certifications that are domain custom built. So there is no certification which kind of tells you how do you kind of review and benchmark AI in medical writing, things like that. So these are the certifications. Our intention is to tell you the top ones. The other thing I like in training programs is always to have participants move out with something done, because we are consuming enough YouTube shorts, LinkedIn shorts, etc. So the structure of what I'll be telling is I'll be sharing a link and you can in parallel enroll for those certifications or other things right now. So this is where we also have a section on our site where you have discount code, coupon codes, etc., which are there where you will get that. I'm going first to NVIDIA, and you can search on the web, and I'll share a link here which briefly gives where you can get these certifications. So my intention is that you should not listen through another session about AI. If you've taken the first step of enrolling on these sites, I'll tell you the top courses, and in 1 hour or 2 hours, you will walk away with AI certifications from top institutes. So when you go to that, you don't need to register now, just explore the link. I'll walk you through how it looks like, but it's a 2 minute registration process. So in the parallel, if you want to do it, you're welcome to do it. This is how NVIDIA divides its deep learning courses, and they are going through a massive upgrade of their site. So you'll see a different view of courses if you're logging in US versus if you're logging in another part of the globes, which can be UK or India. But universally, you will get this categorization, which is either into generative AI, deep learning, data science, graphics, simulation infrastructure. For non-IT folks, a great way to start is generative AI. And this is a very good 2 hour brief certification, which is generative AI explained. You can sign up and complete it today. So tomorrow you can update on your LinkedIn that you are now NVIDIA certified on generative AI, and the quality of content is really good. If you want to go to prompts, so crux about AI is three things. One is the problem definition. What are you trying to solve? Second is understanding what component will have a human, what will have an AI, where it is ready for that. So for example, if you are looking at, let's say, a very simple case relevant to generative AI, which is a creating an email to a clinician with the generative AI explanation, be able to do that yourself. And the third step is about being able to implement it. Why do we pick this generative AI certificate within this as the best one? It goes from low to medium level, and it gets you into generative AI as second. It prompts with the other one. So the certification in the middle is the second recommended certification. It costs $30. We have periodically some discount codes, which we'll share the QR code. You can kind of get those enrolled. So that's there. A lot of the other certifications are more advanced. You don't need to do it. So first generative AI, then prompt engineering, and these are the core topics depending on increasing advance of where. But if you are good at understanding basic tools for generative AI and basic prompt engineering, that is a essential starting point. If you do not know this, then it's unlikely you'll be able to create prompt. So the second certification, costly, there are links in it, and I hope we'll share the slides end of it. You'll get, this is the kind of certificate at the end. Okay, depending on the certifications, there are three kinds of courses. One is where you have a paid certification, where there's the link for verification and other things. Those are generally, in most cases, costly and paid unless that aligns with the core area of business. So this is the second institution, which is the OpenAI Academy, and you can search for it. I will place the link. So I've placed the link in the chat window. They have a very simple email enrollment. At max, they have one irritating thing. They will not allow you to go ahead unless you upload a photo. So you'll have to take your Zoom photo or LinkedIn or WhatsApp photo, right click and upload it. Otherwise, it's just very simple. Your LinkedIn ID, your photo, and one field, and you're done. So I'm now on the OpenAI Academy, where you see all the certifications. You have on the left side events, which is events that they hold like this, where people who are more comfortable within the event learning. But the crux of it is understand basics of generative AI, understand prompting, and understand how to use that tool before you go to domain specific things. Okay, that's why the second half I've moved to more certifications which are fundamental, foundational, not very advanced, but you must do it. So this is where, and a fantastic part of this is that you have all these communities that are global. Okay, so you can pick the community or the chapter you're interested in, and you get to kind of learn more and more. So now I'm going to the main certification here. These are basically events. I'm going back because we want to go to something that's available. You don't need to wait for an event. And within that, I think one of the best ones or the basic ones is prompts. If you are a master of prompts, you are a master of guiding GPT LLMs to do your work. And that's what AI is about. So this is a really fantastic 9-minute certification. You can share the link. It's very easy to search. You'll get it from the net. And largely what it does, guide you through an actual what do you want to do and how do you write the prompt on it. Because a lot of times what happens is if you write a basic prompt like this, you get answers that may not be as good, but it's just like guiding an intern. If you are more clear on what is the outcome you want and what is the examples of it, how do you intend to use it, what is good or bad, okay, that becomes very effective in increasing your productivity. For that, here I'm just trying to show you their detailed prompt. They also teach you on voice prompting. Okay, but this is how officially they recommend you write prompts. Okay, so and prompts is something just like Google search. More people are moving from Google search to prompts. So if you are having this skill, okay, you are able to save time per day in what most app people by default are doing. There are beautiful topics on the right side, but I would suggest just stick to generative AI prompts and how to use that tool, which can be an NVIDIA tool, which can be a tool that is OpenAI, and it can be Perplexity and others. I have kept Perplexity out of it because they have a great academy, great tool, and I personally go between this Perplexity, Gemini, and OpenAI. But all of them have universities or academies or training sessions which are similar. So you can pick any one of them, and if you are good at one, you are pretty much close to doing good at the others. So that's on the second one that I was talking about, which is the OpenAI one. Largely, their certifications go into for developers, for those building systems, for those wanting to use the platform, and for a variety of common use cases. You can do tons of things. If you are from Pharma and Healthcare, you'll have read a lot about how medical diagnosis is, in a lot of cases, helping find things that may have been missed out in one or two physician interactions. So the prompt is the crux of being able to help people irrespective of the job. And the next level is where you start getting paid certifications, where you're looking at more what is not just question and answer, but about doing work. So the fourth step is learn how to get an agent. So this is a certification, that one of the certification choices that is there. We will not go into that because that itself is something that will take some demonstrations and others on it. But that is what you should aspire for, because just like you use Google Maps to know directions and You use your calendar to remind you. That same way, an agent can do things like medical reviews, social listening, monitoring clinical trials.gov, or a whole bunch of tasks. For example, shortening a presentation and sending an email on your behalf to others. So there's a whole set of activities. I'm not going into that. The cost varied. I had shown you both the free ones and the one that I talked about. When you start going into agent based, some of the good ones start getting some basic charges, and you can contact us for discount codes. They are also available through companies like Coursera, etc., where there is no publicity for anybody. So once you have learned AI, it's always good to look for domain. I'm from healthcare, right? The good part about healthcare is there's a lot of good educational content that is there. And this is the third site that I want you to search for, which is the Harvard Medical School AI certifications and the overall Harvard Medical School site. Once you register on some of those, you will automatically get an email letter from them, and you'll be able to pick your own choice of. So this is what their overall program search looks like. I'm giving a second link, which is a more comprehensive link. I think the first one is only specific to AI, but this one is wider link. So a lot of you are advanced coming from consulting and other backgrounds. The good part about it is it allows you to search for all their repository of programs, and a lot of them are pretty advanced, which means you want to get a Harvard brand on your resume. How do you get that with a certification? You want to learn healthcare economics. How do you do that? Okay, you want to continue a certain education. This does it by a type of professional, and having worked across ecosystem on pharma, okay, I think there's always a shortage of pharma not being called up within this segment, and same for payers. So there's a whole good set of certifications for some of you in leadership roles. This AI plus business gives a very good. I'll be talking first about the starting ones that are there, and my aim is how do you get Harvard certification, and again how do you get it free. And we are doing through August Ivy League certification month. This will give you their AI courses. So this is a very structured way of doing what a lot of you have spent the decade or 2 decades learning the hard way when there was less of combined material. And these courses are ones that are programs that are more where you are looking for that I need to have a certification that is valued. If you are on a consulting role, a lot of clients expect you to be able to give them insights. So in that role, using framework from strategy to implementation, this is a good one. Healthcare transformation may be suitable more for others. Innovations on AI in healthcare is again a generic one, and some of these are specialized. So I'll be going now deeper into this for the ones you can pick. My recommendation is go for something that's a clinical plus AI, and something that because it's relevant topic and low cost. This is among their costlier ones. Their typical charges are in the region of $1,900. And if you wait long enough, I think we'll tell you about how to get this for low cost free discount codes. That's been something when you are trying to learn. Okay, you're always looking for not just Amazon discounts, you're looking for discounts in this area. So this is how they structure it out, and it's a very detailed curriculum. You have access to all the material, and the quality of their leaning is toward people who are coming with some experience wanting to get certified with a clear objective. So this is there. You will see teams that are good. So the intention of putting this is because you understand that these are people who have done products in a variety of companies like Google, etc., who are co-building the certification. So if you are spending a $3,000, you are talking to some of the best minds, and it's not just a stamp. So that's there. Certifications are generally very easy to consume. So that's there. Number of other topics. AI in clinical medicine is more deeper dive into actually how within the practice, depending on the specialty and others, what are the common things that doctors would encounter. This is a more comfortable price, but yeah, it's 2 days and done. Now I'm going to one free giveaway kind of thing, which I hope you'll grab that, which is like how do you get Harvard Medical School or Harvard University on your resume for free for a certification that is in data science and machine learning. Is that of interest to all of you?
I don't know anyone says no for it, Vikram. Anyone,
Fantastic.
guys, does not want to have Harvard Medical School on your profile?
Okay, so this is a secret only for those who have come to the workshop. So right now this is running free. Okay, so a lot of these certifications, what people don't know is there are two categories. One is the knowledge, second is the verification of that certificate. So if you choose to have a certificate that is verified and other things, then you have an option that you can do it free and you get that completion. But if you want it verified and verifiable online and others, then you pay that $1,900, $1,000 or whatever. So this is data science and machine learning. Okay, strongly recommended. If you're looking for knowledge, pick the ones. I would suggest you make a habit of picking once a month regularly. We try to ensure that on the first Saturday and third Saturdays, we kind of get people to clear focus on them. And this is something that you can click on purely online. There's a number of other certificates. Okay, it is self-paced. If you want a certificate, it's only $150. So while the world is paying $1,900, $3,000, you can either go through the whole course for free, and if you want it verified certificate, then that's probably the cheapest cost of doing an AI training within any part of the world. So these are structured, detailed, and most of the people are professors at there, and they come with a pretty much good background. Here our learning has been, a lot of them tend to go into more statistics and others, which is pretty good. So how do you build a recommendation system? What is regulation? Because the crux of data science is getting into data and being able to run that, because the more easier it is becoming to get tools for it, the skill of going down deep into data and fixing it is more value. So this is the certification. I'm putting the link. So I hope for $150, okay, all of you can do it free. If you want a verified certificate, only then you have to pay for it. Otherwise, it's yours anyway. So there's a whole bunch of certificates they have which are interesting. We walked through some of them. Okay, I'll not take more time on them, but largely what they're doing is they're covering the entire landscape. And if you're coming in more with a senior leadership strategy kind of thing, so while OpenAI and NVIDIA tend to go more deeper into the technical aspect of it and become more about how do you use their tool to do something, these are more on the senior leadership and business part of it. These go up right up to $8,000, $8,500. You get certificates like this. Harvard Medical School, I'm sure, will make a good LinkedIn post for all of you. And you can, in addition to LinkedIn fame, also genuinely learn. I'll now be going, when you're in the Ivy League thing, you're going to look at Harvard, you're looking at Stanford, you're looking at MIT and others. So similarly, Stanford University certifications are there. I'll share the link. Here you have to be very clear. There is a professional education path which goes in the programs. So all of them navigate. The good part is from the similar link. I'm sharing the link. It's online.stanford.edu/professional-education. So I'll not go into master's degree. I'm just looking at free content and free online courses. I hope everybody can see the navigation. So while we look for AI knowledge, the temptation is always to have a free course. If you're looking for white papers, quoting, research, anything quickly, and that's good when you're dealing with topics where somebody questions the AI work you're doing, that, hey, you're doing competitive intelligence. Why don't I use AI to do it? And you'll have a paper there with good referred papers. It's good to go from a browse all, because that allows you to search for a combination of courses. So this is again one of the topics. So Stanford has a series of 5 certifications. I'll probably mention that in the slide, which is a very good. And you have to understand that Stanford is a set of colleges. So the School of Humanities will approach it differently. The School of Engineering will approach differently. So this is a machine learning. If you're looking at machine learning certificate done with a tuition cost of $0, I hope all of you went to and saw that. So that's a fantastic thing to add, right? And this person, Andrew NG, the reason I brought this here is really the training guru on machine learning. He's able to explain and articulate ahead of time, because a lot of these you would have done with tools, potentially using R or other tools that are there. But now with AI technologies, it's important to get both the things. What is the framework and what's the tool? So if you are doing decision trees, what kind of problems should go to decision trees instead of logistic regression? And what is the tool that does it well? So I hope the second gift of a free certification is good enough from the top 2 colleges. So this is whole bunch of certifications. I've gone to the back to the slideshow. A good depth of topics: introduction, clinical data, machine learning, evaluation of AI applications. And this is one thing I wanted to bring up, because some of their certifications which are paid are on a monthly payment model, which means you can do it, claim it, download the certificate, but there is a recurrent subscription. So you end up paying $1,000 over 15 months, or just doing it once, get downloading the certificate, and then just keeping the certificate. And so this is a good certificate. It's multi-detailed. And this is something that's important because a lot of these systems are expected to change, are changing. If you don't have the whole ecosystem, you'll probably, the insight recommendations may be sounding okay, but may not work. Clinical data, ethic, foundational, but the good part is that they are full rounded, well covered. In the slide deck or others, if you want discount codes, coupon codes, you can visit the Multiplier AI site and search for certification codes and others and get that. This is Stanford, how the certificate will look like if you do it through Coursera. There's a different version if you do it. We are moving to time, so I'll be moving faster. But similarly, you have from MIT, and MIT tends to be pretty good when it comes to the technical aspect of it. When you are trying to implement actual systems, if you're trying to build something in, let's say, the technical certifications here will be way, way better. You have a central site for executive education, you can go ahead. This is their top rated certification, but it's at $2,000. And as you all know, so if you want to be one of the few people to have certifications from already NVIDIA, OpenAI, Harvard, Stanford, the other reason I put it is I'm really liking the fact that they have separated pharma and biotech from peers and providers, because each of them is an ocean of learning in itself, and the kind of use cases they are applying is different. Structure of certification is similar. You have some basic ones, some domain ones, but what we liked about that, at least at a high level, you are giving a course which combines drug discovery, how do you model disease biology, how the biomarkers and patient stratification, clinical trial design from our team members, etc. Okay, our insistence is that regularly are looking to be the thought leaders within that space. Then it is easier for you to understand the problem and apply what is required for the topic. So this is a good overall course that you're picking at, and I'll look for, this is what a certificate looks like. So there's also University of Berkeley. I'll not go into that, but you would note the price everywhere. I have been trying to ensure there's a price put also, and some of these are prices for in-person event. This is the kind of certificate that you look. If you want to know which are the free ones and others, there's a whole bunch and bundle of it. Yeah, you can contact us. We give the discount codes out depending on whatever is running. So that's largely, I hope within the time we were able to complete the discussion, and our intention is get credible. It's not a top AI certifications are, if you do a research, get that compiled, affordable.
There are surely questions, Vikram. So the
Yeah.
first question from Bharat is, while the Multiplier AI is the first Asia-based pharma IPO, is it getting listed in the Indian equity space or any other region space?
We are listing in the Indian equity space. For the US space, so the compliance are high. So Indian stock market has something where a special segment where your compliance reportings can be once in 6 months, and that allows us to have the advantage of being publicly listed. The reason for listing is we want employees to make money. If you are spending 2 to 4 years, you should be able to translate that into cash beyond.
That's great. Before I get on to the other questions, I really liked this session because this has given us the direction on what is that we can look at, and a lot of organizations are moving towards the AI and ML. And I don't know if there is any organization who does not want to bring in the AI solutions into their regular day-to-day activities instead of we being into the very regulated space, but then using the AI with more cognitive to make sure. And then agentic AI is something which is very much happening buzzword nowadays. So I think it will definitely help a lot of people. Where I see those who are wondering, who are not technical people, you have some of your basic certifications where you understand certain terminologies, certain terms, and then it makes you very confident when you're talking with your other colleagues, your other department stakeholders or your sponsors. And those who are in the technical space, who are techies, you have some of your advanced things. With that, the next question is, okay, this is from Pavan. Are there any specific AI certifications for pharma and healthcare professionals from NVIDIA?
Right now, they are not good role-based certifications within that, but all of the big tech is trying to get vertical, and pharma specifically has been created as a top target vertical. So when you're looking at pharma, okay, there is no certification from generative AI that has been publicized as a core-based certification from NVIDIA for pharma. But I would suggest look at colleges that have programs within healthcare to learn, and especially ones that are in New Jersey, to be able to learn the pharma part. I did not cover some of that. I think we can do a separate session on role-based if you are in commercial team, if you're doing consulting.
That's very interesting. That's very interesting. But then I definitely wanted to thank everyone for joining the session. And also, thank you so much, Vikram. This is very, very helpful. And I also wanted to encourage all of you to spend some time, because AI and ML is a very evolving space, and then a lot of very useful references what is provided by you, Vikram. Thank you so much. They're very helpful. And then some of those, I think it's very useful to spend time to learn the nuances of AI and how can we make use of it on our regular assignments. That will be very helpful. And another announcement before everyone disperses is, while we have seen some of the certifications, maybe we will give you a couple of weeks time, and we definitely wanted to check on you guys to see how many certifications each one of you have done. And then we will also have a follow-up session with Dr. Vikram on how can you build your own AI tools within few minutes. And once you have a good understanding of these things with some of these certifications, then we will have what would be our next top 5 applications which we can do, or how we can build the top 5 AI applications by ourselves. So that will be something which we will be doing another follow up with Vikram, and I definitely look forward to see and host you all again on that session. So get up and get ready. We look forward to hear, and I'll be happy to hear who all are doing what kind of certification. I know you all have my LinkedIn page. I'll be happy to see your messages on it. And I really appreciate, this was one of the best sessions we had. Thank you so much once again, Vikram.
Thanks
Thank
to
you
the
so
CAiRL
much.
team. Thanks.